The Motel 6 Roll to Riches presented by Geico. A chance for one PBA bowler to win $200,000. Our season started Halloween Day in Milwaukee. Danny Wiseman treated himself to his first major. He won the ABC Masters and gained a berth in today's elite field. The 62nd U.S. Open saw first as well as Chris Barnes rolled through a pressure-packed week. A single pin spare was the margin of victory, and Barnes had his invitation to today's proceedings. The World Championship was Patrick Allen's time to shine. The lefty had enough to hoist PBA's biggest trophy and earn a spot in today's competition. Steve Jarris had never bowled in a major title match before the Tournament of Champions, but the inexperience did not hurt him. Jarris took home the first major of his career and locked up a berth in this field. Tommy Jones posted his first 4 career titles this season, dominating tournaments and going undefeated in TV finals. The fans certainly noticed and voted Jones in as a Fans' Choice All-Star. The fans' other pick, Norm Duke, posted career win number 22 this season. Known as a bowler who can do just about anything, the 2-time PBA Player of the Year rounds out the field of 6. Someone is going to roll his way to riches next. From Main Event Entertainment in Fort Worth, Texas, CSPN brings you the PBA Motel 6 Roll to Riches presented by Geico. 6 of the world's top bowlers compete for the top prize, a winner-take-all $200,000. Now all 6 of our finalists are ready to roll. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Dallas Metroplex. Glad you could join us here on ESPN. Dave Ryan alongside my partner, Randy Peterson. Randy, the regular season is over. All 4 major champions have been determined. Points leader, money, all stats are done except for one big competition here today for big bucks.
6 of the greatest players in the world will take center stage today to compete in an unprecedented event, the richest event in PBA history. Winner take all, $200,000 shootout. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Can't wait to watch this one. Format, Randy, different than what we'd see during the regular season. It deserves quite a bit of explanation.
It does. First of all, we're going to start with a challenge round. All 6 players will compete in. Low score and ties are eliminated. We're left with 2 players that will advance to the championship round. We follow that with 2 elimination 6-frame matches. Win and move on, lose and go home. In the championship round, 2 6-frame semifinal matches until we're left with 2 players. In the championship match, the first player to throw 6 strikes wins $200,000. In the event of a tie, we will go to sudden death. And remember, you have to strike in sudden death to win $200,000.
Randy, Patrick Allen is our lone left-hander here in the competition in Fort Worth, Texas. He's also the Harry Smith points leader during the regular season, our points champ, so he determines the order for our competition.
Yeah, he could have decided to either go first or last, rather. He decided to go first, and here's your order. PA, by virtue of winning the World Championships, Chris Barnes, he won his first major at the U.S. Open. Danny Wiseman, first tournament of the year, the Masters. Tommy Jones won 4 times this year. He was voted in by the fans, as was Norm Duke, who finished second last week at the Tournament of Champions, and Steve Jarris, your TFC winner.
So Patrick Allen gets us going here in Fort Worth. Lone lefty of the show.
Oh, very sexy. How about the messenger taking out both the 7 and the 10?
And PA wants to hear it from the crowd early. Gets everyone going here in the Dallas Metroplex. Chris Barnes from Flower Mound, not far at all from where we are, about half an hour from his home here, so he's got a home lane advantage certainly. His wife Linda in the stands to watch Chris in action. 10-pin.
Wow, got a huge break there, tripping out the 4 and only leaving the 10. But will it hold up? And will it be enough, as you see the fish face expression by Chris Barnes?
In this challenge round, Randy, that's bad news. Any non-strike can really hurt you and send you out. Doesn't mean you're out of the competition totally, but you cannot advance to the championship round semifinals unless you keep on going here in the early rounds of action. Means they go to the elimination matches. First ball from Danny Wiseman, our Masters winner. Perfect.
Beautiful stroke there.
Chris Barnes needs someone to get less than 9 pins to survive this round.
Yeah, good luck.
Not easy amongst the world's best bowlers. From just outside Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Tommy Jones. What a season. 4 TV shows, 8 wins later. He is right up there with Patrick Allen for possible player of the year. Although at this point, everyone seems to give PA the nod. First ball from TJ.
Wow. A lot of power there. This pattern is a high-scoring pattern. A lot of strikes going to be thrown today. Tommy Jones sticks the slide there. You can see the snap with the wrist. Lots of power behind that bowling ball.
Chris Barnes doesn't look too optimistic, does he, at this point? He had the early 9-pin count. Just a 10-pin standing for him. So Norm Duke looking to strike here. Keep himself alive in this round. Does just that.
Pretty shot by Norm Duke. Chris Barnes on the hot seat. Only one guy can save him, and you're looking at him.
9 or better here, Randy, and Chris Barnes is out. Goes right to the elimination rounds. However, a lower pin count, and Steve Jarris is bounced early. We started with 6. Everyone at this point trying to get to the championship round semifinals. 2 will survive. And do just that. First ball from Jarris.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, not at all, Steve. Unfortunately for you, we're not kidding, and Chris Barnes survives, but barely. That was dramatic for Chris.
This is just unbelievable. Same spot that Tommy Jones's ball hit. He gets 10, Steve Jarris gets 8, and a bad break.
So 5 are left on our PBA Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico. Challenge round scoreboard. The low score and the ties are out. So Steve Jarris, who won the next Tournament of Champions, has been bounced early. Still 5 more great bowlers survive. Which will advance to the championship round semis? We find out next. The first ball of this challenge round, Patrick Allen got a break and sent our crowd into quite a frenzy. We'll see. With his second ball here, 5 are in. Steve Jarris has been eliminated. That's a much better ball from Patrick Allen, who is silencing the critics here.
Bang. That shot was perfect. Pretty easy to have a nice loose swing when you made about 350 grand for the year, huh?
Chris Barnes had himself a pretty good year as well. Look at the strike percentage numbers. Led the PBA Tour match play stats. Does he have another strike in him? You bet. Perfect shot, Chris Barnes.
One thing Barney knows, and that's how to strike.
That's so. That's an awful lot like the one you threw over there.
These guys having some fun with each other, but remember, a PBA event record $200,000 to the winner. That is serious money. Danny Wiseman knows it's a serious competition. Barnes was first strike percentage this year. Wiseman number 30 on tour. That's not a great number for him, and look out. Big trouble. And with just an 8-pin count, that could KO Wiseman from this round.
Cheetah pattern, dry boards to the outside, part of the lane. Danny Wiseman got his ball there a little bit too early. It comes off the spot too hard. Bad break leaving the 4-9.
With just 8 pins down, that's going to be very difficult now for Danny to advance. Steve Jarris has been bounced already from this round. That means he goes right to the elimination round. Jones wants to stay alive, get himself to the championship round semifinals. Needs 9 or better here. We are on the short pattern E. Cheetah pattern. Yields the highest scores. And yields a Jones strike. He liked it.
Well, you heard him say settle because that ball was going high. No 4-9 for Tommy Jones, though.
So Jarris is the first to be bounced. Maybe Wiseman is next. 9 or better for Norm Duke here, and Danny Wiseman is KO'd from this round. Lane level look at it. Wiseman has been eliminated. Thanks to a perfect ball from Norm Duke.
Beautiful stroke here. Norm knows all he has to do is get to the 1-3. He's probably going to get at least 9. And there's his reaction from a perfectly executed shot.
Norm Duke, a great season. We see our challenge round scoreboard now. Wiseman out. Same with Jarris. We move on. Patrick Allen leaves 1.
That's the drill. You're out.
Doesn't appear very optimistic, does he? He might have reason to be a bit of a pessimist with the way Barnes and Tommy Jones are locked in on these high-scoring lanes.
The other thing is now you're only down to 4 guys. You're talking about 3 players, 3 strikes, PA out.
But the others have to keep striking. 9-pin count for PA. In his zone, Chris Barnes, no question. Great ball reaction on the backside of the E pattern.
Steve Jarris let him off the hook early. Chris Barnes has got some confidence going now, and he's really showing it.
Remember, just a few moments ago, how tense Chris Barnes was. He thought he might be knocked out into elimination round play. Boy, has Tommy Jones been unbelievable on TV this year. Perfect through 4 tournaments. All 4 unblemished record on television. First ever wins on tour as well for TJ. The definition of a breakout year, the definition of a perfect strike.
Sure was. Right now, Patrick Allen down to 1 last hope, and that's Norm Duke, hoping that he gets less than 9 and saves him. Norm Duke with a strike here will eliminate Patrick Allen.
Chris Barnes was saved by a difficult shot from Steve Jarris earlier in the competition. Will it happen again? We'll find out. Norm Duke.
Look out.
It's high, 4-7 stand, and Patrick Allen has been saved on a difficult shot by Norm Duke. He's been bounced into elimination round play.
See how far right he gets it, right into the scorched part of the lane. It comes off the spot too hard, goes right through the face.
So as we check out the PBA Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico challenge round scoreboard, Norm Duke is out. Same with Steve Jarris and Danny Wiseman. 3 remain for 2 championship round semifinal appearances. Patrick Allen living dangerously. It's a 7-pin up.
Boy, it's the same lane he carried the double messenger on. This time the head pin goes in front of the 7-pin. PA again looking for some help.
Chris Barnes was spared early elimination when Steve Jarris only had an 8-pin count. Chris just had a 9-pin count with his first ball of this challenge round. Since then, he has been completely locked in. He wants to move on to the next round. 10-pin.
And help for Patrick Allen just came in the form of a Chris Barnes ringing 10.
Tommy Jones has been perfect so far. If he strikes here, they are both still alive. That's what PA and Chris Barnes are hoping for right now. Each winning a major championship this season. First respectively in their careers. Jones, breakout year. Another great shot, Tommy Jones. So Tommy has advanced to the championship round semifinals. 2 bowlers, 1 spot remains to get to that coveted championship round semi spot. Will it be Chris Barnes or Patrick Allen? The loser is off to the elimination round. That means 1 and you're out. All bowlers battling. PBA event record $200,000. Winner take all. 7-pin.
Patrick Allen has not struck on his last 3 shots. And right now, that man looking to take him out.
Strike here. And Chris Barnes will advance to the championship round semifinals. It is very unusual to see Patrick Allen smile on television.
Good thing to have.
Normally a very intense competitor, for sure. Chris Barnes has thrown some big strikes this year. One that helped him, of course, win the 62nd U.S. Open in New Jersey. His first ever major title. His only title win this year. That's how it's done. Chris Barnes knocks out Patrick Allen into elimination round play. That means Tommy Jones and Chris Barnes have clinched a spot in the championship round semifinals, and it certainly has been a home lane advantage for Chris. By Flinda holding up the sign.
Steady head, eyes on the target. Chris Barnes, high flush, and he throws the shot that he needs to throw. Big time pressure. February 20th, 2005, a career-defining day for Chris Barnes. He won his first major championship. Now let's go down to the floor with Dave Ryan.
These 2 great bowlers have advanced to the semifinals of the championship round. Tommy Jones, let's start with you. 4-time winner on tour this year. How does this competition rate or compare with regular season bowling?
Well, you have the 6 best bowlers in the world here, and you know, it's a great, you know, we're having a lot of fun out here with the format and everything, and just to survive that round means a lot, but there's still a lot of work ahead of us.
Is the pressure tougher to deal with?
I think so in that round, because you're down to 1 shot. You know, it might be a little different when we have 6 frames, but, you know, 1 shot, it took a while to get 6 guys eliminated there.
Good luck, Tommy. Thanks. Chris Barnes, U.S. Open champion this year, first ever major. How does the pressure for you compare to the regular season?
Well, so far it's been okay, you know, but it's going to intensify as things keep going here, and we'll see who responds the best.
Do you have a home lane advantage? Your home is only about 45 minutes from here in the Dallas Metroplex area.
Well, I certainly think I have more fans than most people do here, and hopefully I can take advantage of that.
All right, well, best of luck to Chris Barnes and Tommy Jones. They are through to the semifinals of the championship round here from Fort Worth, Texas. Our first elimination match comes up here on ESPN. The Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico rolls on from the Dallas-Fort Worth area next. Sitting some 20 miles from downtown Dallas, Texas is Fort Worth. That's the site of the Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico. Challenge round is complete. Now we go to the elimination round. And match number 1, Wiseman Duke, then Patrick Allen and Steve Jarris, Barnes and Jones, as we've seen, are through to the championship round semifinal already. And the first 2, hoping to stave off elimination, are joined now by Randy Peterson.
Thanks, Dave. Danny Wiseman, you won the first tournament of the year, a major. No wins since then. Have you saved your best for last?
Yeah, why not? I need the other bookend, you know, to match the first one. So, yeah, it was winning that first event got me here, and I'm so happy and elated to be here with these great players in this fantastic venue and the people here. We're just going to go out and have some fun and see if we can bring home the $200 grand.
Good luck, Danny. Thank you. Norm, I'd like to say it was a great match you and I had at the Tournament of Champions, but I'd be lying. But anyway, finishing second at Tournament of Champions, does that give you a lot of momentum coming into this week?
You know, I haven't been able to take that much momentum because we just finished it. And besides that, the last game that I bowled, I lost. So, you know, I think that, you know, we're here to win. That's my job. So I don't think so.
Okay. Good luck, Norm. Dave?
Norm Duke falling to Steve Jarris, Randy. And Randy, of course, made that show. The Dexter Tournament Champions in Connecticut to finish our regular season. $200,000. Winner-take-all format here, folks, in Fort Worth. Norm really emphasizing to us in our interviews with him as well that one job to do at the Tournament of Champions, that was to win it. He fell a little bit short. Didn't feel he was tired with that shorter format at the TOC. from near Orlando, Florida, as is our Randy Peterson, as is Jason Couch on the PBA Tour. The 6-frame match with Martha Crooks, Norm Duke's mother. Also, Norm's brother is here. Great to see them. Norm had Martha from Tyler, Texas with him at the Dexter Tournament of Champions in Connecticut to finish out the regular season. To begin the regular season was Danny Wiseman ever spectacular. The Masters presented by the ABC in Milwaukee before a packed house. Good start for him. And Dorothy Potter, Danny's mother, is here. She is his biggest fan. Randy, let's look at the matchup.
Pretty even matchup all the way across the board. Almost identical average. A little bit higher strike percentage for Norm. You know, the one thing Norm told us last night, a spare in this competition is like an open frame. Strike or nothing. Remember, only 6 frames, 180 max score.
Oh my, hey, avoids the dreaded 7-10. He'll take the 7-up only very gladly.
This could have been disastrous. Danny Wiseman only leaving the 7 instead of the pocket 7-10. He says, all right.
Takes care of the 7-pin. We last saw Danny on TV during the PBA regular season, Indianapolis. Finished out 4th at the PBA Baby Ruth Real Deal Classic.
Had a great match with Jason Couch in the round of 8.
Norm Duke, a winner, PBA Atlanta Classic this year for his title. And the exemption for next season. Picture perfect ball. Oh, 10 in the pit for Norm Duke.
Ball about the 8th board, at the arrows, out to about the 4th board. Picks up that dry spot on the lane and gets back to the pocket. And you see what Norm has done on the cheetah pad and Dave.
Not particularly well. 25th, the best finish. Average on the cheetah pattern. We are playing pattern E here. The highest scoring of the 5 PBA patterns during the regular season. Ty avoids the big 4, but this is trouble. 6-7-10 up for Norm Duke.
Big, big trouble. Watch his follow through right here. Almost looks like he just kind of cuts it off just a little. Boy, when you do that, it grabs early. That one went right through the face.
He'll say take your medicine and knock down the 4-7, leave up the 6. So if a spare is like an open, what's an open like? In a match like this, it could be very detrimental to Norm Duke's chances to advance. This an elimination match. It's only 6 frames, folks. Not much bowling left. Wiseman up by 5 pins thanks to the Norm Duke Open. Who survives? Who moves on? We'll find out next. Great crowd here at the PBA Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico. And a very special thanks to Eric Studer, Motel 6 Senior Vice President for marketing. He and his great staff. Our title sponsor. We resume action here. Elimination match, 3rd of 6 frames. Wiseman trying to stay alive thanks to the Norm Duke Open in his 3rd frame. Now a 5-pin lead. Norm had started with a double. Works on a spare. Has 10 down. You look at the Denny's final points list. PA Patrick Allen, in all likelihood player of the year. He is a strong candidate to win that award. Would be his first of his career. Chris Barnes and Wiseman, top 3. Danny had been number 1 in points most of the year until Patrick Allen caught him. Speaking of Patrick Allen, lone lefty of our competition. We'll see him against Steve Jarris. 2nd elimination match. Loser is done. Winner advances, getting a step closer to a PBA event record, $200,000. Wiseman shreds the rack.
Yeah, we like to refer to that shot there, Dave, as high flush. Check it out, Danny Wiseman, 13th board out to about the 4th board. Use a little bit more angle than Norm Duke. Danny Wiseman in the driver's seat. And right now, in my opinion, Norm Duke is in a can't-miss situation. He has to strike out to have a chance to win this.
One frame for Norm. There's one. Late trip of the 10, but Duke in a big hole still to his 5th frame of 6.
A little bit longer with a follow-through here. And what happens when you go long with your follow-through? It pushes the ball down the lane. When you cut it off, it makes the ball hook a lot sooner. That one he got through nicely.
Max numbers you'll see as well. Bottom left of your screen. Remember, we are playing just 6 frames. So the total max, if you struck out, would be 180. Norm, a Fans' Choice All-Star to be in our competition. Needs another. Has it.
Really trusted that one, Dave. Got that one all the way out to about the 1, 2, 3, and there's a dry spot on the outside part of the lane. The cheetah pad is famous for throwing to the outside. A ball coming back to the pocket.
So glad Crocodile Randy has returned. Foundation frame 5th here in our 6-frame match for Wiseman. For the turkey. And a 15-pin lead.
Come on, one more.
You bet. And a great season, no question about that. Strike percentage a little bit low, though, 30th. But his other numbers stellar. He said just a win at the Denny's World Championship in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Round of 8 loss to the upstart Chris Loescher. Had that not happened, Danny's on that show. If he wins it, he's right in the middle of the Player of the Year race. But he knows that one match cost him dearly.
Come on. Yeah!
There he goes. Another to begin the 6th as he closes in on the win.
After this strike here, he only needs 8 to win. Danny Wiseman right now in autopilot. I'm sure 8 wouldn't be a problem considering he's flushed the last 4 in a row.
As Danny told us before the match, chance at redemption. A way to bookend his season. Wait the start. Wait at the end. That's the way it's done. Wiseman advances to the championship round. And it's the end of the road for Norm Duke.
One shot. This competition all about striking. Norm Duke in the 3rd frame left the 4-6-7 split, and that's all she wrote.
Wiseman stays hot and bowls a 160. Out of a possible 180. 6-frame match goes to Wiseman. Norm Duke's day is over.
See Danny a little bit more side roll on his ball than Norm. Gets his ball to kind of feed to the right. Once friction's created, the ball travels in direction of rotation.
Almost unbroken there.
Wiseman has wrapped it up. Has big plans to show his Mystic show car he's won prizes with this summer. But he's got something else on his mind before he thinks about his car.
Take that home with you, man.
Oh, well, that's nice and early. Give the ball away to a young fan. That is a souvenir he will treasure a long time. Class act by a class bowler, Norm Duke, a PBA legend. 2 major champions, Patrick Allen, who won the Denny's World Championship. Steve Jarris, who won the Dexter Tournament Champions, will go head-to-head. That's coming up next from Fort Worth. Should be exciting action. Jarris, the right-hander, loves to go straight at that head pin. PA's made plenty of noise all season long. He'll try to do more of that in Texas next. The PBA Tour has held a standard event in the Dallas area 39 times, 103 times in the great state of Texas. One more here. It's the Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico. Norm Duke has been eliminated by Danny Wiseman, who will take on Chris Barnes in the first semi. Allen and Jaros to follow in our next match, and they're both joined now by Randy Peterson.
Patrick Allen, you're the lone left-hander in this event. Advantage or disadvantage?
I don't think it's either, honestly. The lanes are definitely changing on my side, too, so I'm going to have to make adjustments like the righties.
Good luck, Patrick. Thank you. Steve Jaros, in our player interviews last night, you were the only one that expressed concern about Patrick Allen being the only left-hander in the event. Now you're matched up against him. What do you have to do to win?
Well, obviously make great shots. Earlier in the week, I thought maybe with 5 right-handers and 1 left-hander, the way the lanes transition, sometimes it can work against us. But if PA has an advantage right now, it's because he's bowling better than anybody on tour right now, and he's going to be a handful.
Thanks, Steve. Good luck. Dave Ryan, a battle of major championship winners this season.
Indeed, Randy. Steve Jaros winning the Dexter Tournament of Champions. Patrick Allen also his first ever major championship. The PBA Denny's World Championship, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Lefty versus righty, elimination match number 2. Wiseman has already KO'd Norm Duke, so Norm is done. His 7th and last title, the biggest of Steve Jaros' career, no question. First ever major. We're on the E cheetah pattern here, which usually yields some good scores. And some late help for Steve Jaros on the 7th pin. He'll take it gladly. In a 6-frame match, folks. This could be big in terms of a good start for Jaros.
Nice late kick on the 7. Steve Jaros starts with a strike and a good start.
From near New York City, 5th title came at the Worlds. What a week it was for him. Knocking off Chris Loschetter, the young upstart from Florida, in the final. And becoming the first lefty since Eric Forkland, 92, to win a world championship.
And this might be the only thing that stops Patrick Allen. That 7-pin actually gets nudged by the 4-pin, leaving the shaker 7-pin.
PA had 4 TV shows last year. A career season for the probable player of the year.
We'll leave the light on for you.
Well said, Patrick. Takes care of the 7, but as we talked about, sometimes those spares can be like an open as we see the elimination match number 2 matchup.
7 pins a game, higher average, strike percentage, and remember, 2 more titles. And look what he did when the pressure was on this year.
Great match. 62nd U.S. Open in New Jersey, lost by 1 pin to the champion Chris Barnes. He has advanced in this event as well. And of course, run up to Danny Wiseman to begin our season at Miller Park in Milwaukee at the Masters presented by the ABC.
Patrick Allen using 2 different balls. The ball he just used on the left lane, much stronger and earlier rolling.
Imagine the finish, Randy, of Steve Jaros this year. '38th in the points. That's where he would have finished, which was barely exempt. But of course, he won the TOC and got himself a 2-year exemption. PBA Tour now in its off season. PBA.com is your best source for all the latest PBA news. Event details about PBA Tour trials, which take place May 31st through June 5th in Merrillville, Indiana, near Chicago, are online now as well. Info also about the repackaged PBA Miller High Life Skills Challenge telecast on ESPN May 7th and 8th. All that and more. PBA.com. Log on today. Perfect shot. Steve Jaros, who had a friend make him a DVD of his Dexter Tournament of Champions win. He likes to look at all the victories on tape to get that good feeling. He did that today before competing at this big high-stakes event. $200,000 to the winner. Jaros or Allen trying to advance. with a turkey to start the competition. Steve Jarris, a 20-pin lead on Patrick Allen. The PBA Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico here in Fort Worth, Texas continues. With Ryan Randy Peterson. Let's check out this week's Dexter approach with Patrick Allen, the lone lefty of our competition. Randy, very deep start on the approach.
Well, these are short approaches that we're using. Check out the six-step approach, rather, of Patrick Allen. And watch this. This is how he starts. He starts with that back foot open. That gets his hips and shoulders open. Well, watch what he does in his third step. He still maintains that angle. He keeps his shoulders, his body, his hips, everything's open. That straight swing allows him to project the ball on the intended line.
Patrick Allen, subject of our Dexter approach. PA looks for a double here, third frame. We are only playing 6-frame matches here. Single elimination. Trying to get to the championship round, and that could mean $200,000. PBA event record for a first place prize. The lefty leaves the 7th. As we said before, spares. Forget about opens. Spares are trouble in this quick match format.
Big shot. He knew he needed to strike there to get on the board with a double, especially because of Steve Jarris's quick start. And all he's doing now is leaving ringing 7s on the right lane.
There's his mark. But Patrick, who had 4 300 games this year, which is second in our competition to Chris Barnes with 6.
But I don't really want to be throwing your spare ball too much.
Yeah, don't want to put that sponsor spare ball up there too much, PA. Look at the numbers from this season, Randy. Just a breakout year for Patrick Allen.
Yeah, and honestly, not to take anything away from the year that Tommy Jones had, which was a spectacular year, 4 wins, but honestly, PA has to get the nod for Player of the Year honors.
Likes that lane a lot better, does Patrick Allen. Also won back-to-back shows this year. So hard to do. Dallas and Birmingham.
And what's happening on the right lane, he's using a weaker ball. It's just pushing too long before it starts to go right, coming in at too sharp of an angle and causing the 4 to go around the 7. What he needs to do is to figure out a way to get his ball to pick up a little bit sooner so it gets to the 1-2 a little bit earlier.
Max number 6-frame match, 180 for Jarris, who keeps it going with a front 4. And now a 30-pin lead for Steve Jarris as he closes in on this win to eliminate our likely Player of the Year, Patrick Allen. Just an amazing turnaround, Randy. And even Steve told us in our interviews with him last night, just shocking after where he was so late in the year. He had optimism, but just a slim ray of hope he'd be exempt. As we mentioned, 38th on the point list. Without that TOC win, he barely snuck in.
Yeah, and isn't it ironic that he was the first one eliminated in the challenge round, and here he is right now putting it to PA.
Great start. Front 5, if he has the front 6, of course. We're in a 6-frame match. He's going to wrap this one up in a 40-pin lead. Unfortunately, single pin spares, not what you want to shoot for at this level of competition. Like Patrick called, an unimaginable regular tour season for him. He's going to need a huge rally here. It's in big trouble.
Now watch this. This ball's going to get to the 1-2 just a little bit sooner. Notice how it starts to go right a little bit earlier down the lane, ends up dead flush, no 7-pin.
Patrick has plans to build a new house near St. Petersburg, Florida. And that's one way to invest all of his tour high winnings from this year, as we saw. Great numbers for Patrick Allen. A dream season for him.
Patrick Allen with 2 more strikes will force Steve Jarris to mark. And even though it looks like Steve Jarris is locked into the pocket, remember, We've seen a solid 7-9. We've almost seen pocket 7-10s, and we've already seen a pocket 4-9. Anything can happen, but first things first, PA must strike out.
Thought it was interesting. Patrick said to us last night, I'm going to continue my hard work and practice. I'm not going to take anything for granted despite what should be a player of the year type season. And that's his work ethic. He'll bowl regionals in the off season and stay very busy. Hard worker. Has to have another one here.
Think about it, baby.
That's exactly what PA plans to do.
Watch this ball go high flush and watch Steve Jarris's reaction.
Last ball now in the 6th and final frame here for Patrick Allen. Playing 6-frame matches. Strike here. Steve Jarris needs a mark. 7. And he'll still need a mark. Will Steve Jarris to wrap up this match and head off to the next round. He's had some Dallas success in his career. The 2004 PBA Days Inn Open. 4 of our 6 competitors at this great event have won in the Dallas Metroplex in their careers. There it is. Steve Jarris will advance, and Patrick Allen has been KO'd.
Congratulations to Patrick Allen on a phenomenal year. Over $350,000 in earnings. It's the kind of year that a PBA professional dreams of. And for Patrick Allen, this season, it became a reality.
All right, pin for Jarris. Won't matter. He is through. The man who just earned a 2-year exemption and $100,000 at the Dexter Tournament of Champions. Love that story about the PBA equipment man who told him just before the Dexter TOC, why don't you put your gear on the truck going to Dallas to this event? Steve said, well, I've got to win the TOC to get to Dallas. And the equipment said, exactly, that's the way to do it. And it worked out well for Steve Jarris. His gear came to the Dallas Metroplex after the Dexter Tournament of Champions win. And now he's knocked off Patrick Allen to advance to the next round. Here in Fort Worth, looking good, Steve Jarris. Here in Fort Worth, Texas, PBA legend Norm Duke having some fun with the fans. He, however, has been eliminated. Steve Jarris and Danny Wiseman have moved on to the next round. Randy Peterson, let's take a look at the recap.
You got it, Dave. In the challenge round, why did Tommy Jones advance? Well, he struck every ball. And Chris Barnes advanced because he got saved by a Steve Jarris 8 count that took advantage of it. In the elimination match, number 1, Danny Wiseman will fire, taking down Norm Duke. And in elimination match number 2, Steve Jarris playing the rainbow shot, takes down Patrick Allen.
Let's start with Danny Wiseman now. Danny, talk about the strategy. How much does it differ, PBA Tour regular season to this now in terms of the short match? Did you have to strike early, or is that what you're thinking about?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got to make quick decisions. The lanes are transitioning every shot. It's really tough, and you know you have to strike because, you know, we're all that good.
Now, the next round, if you win $200,000, what do you do with it?
Oh, wow. How about a 2006 Shelby Ford Mustang Cobra? I don't know.
That sounds awfully fast. Steve Jarris, how about you? Big bucks, it's the most you've ever bowled for. What do you do with the money if you win it?
Well, obviously, there's going to be some taxes that are going to have to be paid. And, you know, we've got 2 kids that are just turning 6, and college is right around the corner. So we're going to hope to get some of that settled and maybe fix up some stuff around our house.
Do you feel like you're staying hot after winning the Dexter Tournament of Champions?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the highest streak you can come into coming into this tournament. I was on such a high last week after winning, and I'm so much more relaxed. Anything can happen.
Well, congratulations. Keep on going. Steve Jarris from just outside Chicago is a winner. That means he's off to the championship round here in Fort Worth, Texas. Norm Duke's day is over, but he had a lot of fun with the fans at the end, no question about that. So we now have our 4 finalists for the $200,000 first place prize, the most ever in PBA history. Now for the entire crew, my partner Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Fort Worth, Texas. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. 6 bowling greats, all competing with one goal in mind, a $200,000 first place prize. One will take it home in the championship round. We'll find out from Fort Worth. The Motel 6 Roll to Riches, presented by Geico. A chance for one PBA bowler to win $200,000. Our season opened up Halloween day in Milwaukee. Danny Wiseman treated himself to his first major. He won the ABC Masters and gained a berth in today's elite field. The 62nd U.S. Open saw first as well as Chris Barnes rolled through a pressure-packed week. A single pin spare was the margin of victory, and Barnes had his invitation to today's proceedings. Steve Jarris had never bowled in a major title match before the Tournament of Champions in Connecticut, but that lack of experience didn't hurt him at all. Jarris took home the first major of his career and locked up a berth in this field. Tommy Jones posted his first 4 career titles this season, dominating tournaments and going undefeated in TV finals. The fans certainly noticed and voted Jones in as a Fans' Choice All-Star. In the Roll to Riches Challenge round, there was big-time pressure. With $200,000 on the line, the world's best bowlers have the opportunity to rise to the task. 1 pin standing was the difference between survival and elimination. And it doesn't get any easier today. We started with 6 men, 4 remain. Someone is going to roll his way to riches next. We're coming to you from Main Event Entertainment in Fort Worth, Texas, minutes from downtown Dallas. It's the PBA Motel 6 Roll to Riches presented by Geico. A history-making event, a winner-take-all $200,000 competition, and now our 4 finalists are ready to roll. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Dallas, Fort Worth area. Dave Ryan alongside my partner, Randy Peterson. Glad to watch the championship round of this exciting event. Randy, the pressure is mounting. $200,000 on the line today.
4 players vying for the richest prize in PBA history, $200,000. The pressure, incredible. Why? Because this is a winner-take-all event.
Much different format, Randy, than the regular PBA season tour event. We have 4 finalists remaining. We started with 6. We'll have 2 6-frame semifinal matches. The winner advanced to the championship match. That's a race of 6 strikes. The first to get there is a PBA event record $200,000 winner. If a roll-off, then we'll have each player getting a chance to match until we will eventually get to a winner. We're on the Cheetah E pattern, a lot of strikes expected, and the max score is 180 with a 6-frame match. So now let's look at the Geico Direct Day 1 recap from the semifinal round.
In the challenge round, Tommy Jones never missed striking. And Chris Barnes took advantage of a Steve Jarris mistake. They both advanced to the championship round. Then in the first elimination match, Danny Wiseman took advantage of a Norm Duke split and beat him by the score of 160 to 134. And in elimination match number 2, Steve Jarris defeated Patrick Allen by the score of 169 to 149. Now let's take a look at our brackets. In semifinal number 1, the ABC Masters champ takes on the U.S. Open champ, Chris Barnes. And in semifinal number 2, the Tournament of Champions winner, Steve Jarris, takes on 4-time titleist, Tommy Jones.
2 major winners are set to go. From the ABC Masters and from the U.S. Open, Danny Wiseman, Chris Barnes. Danny, we'll start with you. A good start to this competition. How important is that?
Oh, it's obviously you have to get off to a good start. You can't make any mistakes. You know, all of us, you know, we're winding down the year, and you know, this is it. I mean, you got to get on top of it and make the shot.
Best of luck to you. There's Danny Wiseman. Chris Barnes, 0-3, head-to-head with Danny on TV in your career. How do you change that?
Win today. you know, it's a great opportunity. We're going for life-changing money, and you know, this could change where my boys have a chance to go to school.
Oh, so that's what you do with the $200,000.
Well, yeah, I don't think I have all the votes in it, but that's the plan.
If he wins, that's where it's going, Randy.
$200,000, winner-take-all purse. Well, you could send your kids to just about any college. The richest prize in PBA history. Shows you right there just the kind of pressure these players are feeling.
Wiseman gets going. Perfect shot.
Get off your hands, go around.
It's just a 6-frame match, folks. So every shot, as Danny said, is so important. A good start, critical. He's got that. His wife Linda is here. The twins Ryan and Troy are not, because they're so young still. Tough to keep them around here for a few hours. So they are being looked after. Good start for Chris Barnes as well. Each a strike to begin as we look into the semifinal #1 matchup, Randy.
Remember, this event all about thrown strikes. Chris Barnes higher average, a lot higher strike percentage. Forget about those spares. This cheetah pattern and these caliber of players, nothing but X's.
Another perfect shot for Chris Barnes, who did, in the challenge round, rotate balls from the different lanes. Really in a comfort zone, Randy.
2 different balls, 2 results exactly the same.
As we talked about, Wiseman has owned Barnes, who appeared a bit surprised when I brought that stat up. He said, oh, really? I'm not sure I knew that. But a win today really turns that around with so much money on the line. $200,000. PBA event record. Wiseman tries the counter, and that's really high.
Got it right. In a 10-frame match, maybe not that big a deal, but in a 6-frame match, this could all but spell disaster for Danny Wiseman. Greek church, right through the heart.
Could tell upon release he was not happy with it. Hope for a break, didn't get it. And leaves the 4-7. And an open with a 6-frame match can be just disaster for someone like Danny Wiseman here. 28th ranked on tour last season. This year, top 5 almost the whole way through. Had a great year. But as he told us, had he made the World Championship show in Ypsilanti, instead of losing to Chris Loschetter, became the eventual finalist in the round of 8. 10-pin for him. Could have really been a different story.
That one right.
But a tremendous season nonetheless. Look at that.
Probably his most consistent year as a professional. I think he led the tour in top 10 finishes with 11.
Most of the season, he was #1 at points until Patrick Allen, that back-to-back run. Dallas and Birmingham won the back-to-back titles, eventually won the World Championship, overtook Danny Wiseman. Right now, Chris Barnes with a double of start in our 6-frame match leaves Danny Wiseman frustrated. The Roll the Riches, presented by Geico and brought to you by Motel 6, rolls on from Fort Worth. Barnes a big lead. Four of our 6 bowlers who started this PBA Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico have won PBA Tour events in the Dallas Metroplex area, including Chris Barnes, 2003. PBA days in Open. Chris from Flower Mound, Texas. That's just north of Fort Worth. Pretty close to halfway between the two cities, but north of them by about 15 minutes. Home lane advantage. Chris Barnes hoping to cash in with a big bucks. Yes! With shots like that, he'll do it. As he's had this great start now, a 34-pin lead. as we see our final PBA Denny's point list. Patrick Allen, the tremendous season, should be player of the year in most people's minds. Chris Barnes and Wiseman not far behind. Tommy Jones, who won 4 times, won 8-0 on TV this year against Steve Jarris. Each tremendous seasons for Jarris, the end. Yes, sir! And those two are coming up, apparently to take on Chris Barnes in the final, because he is rolling right now.
Yeah, that's all but over for Danny Wiseman unless Chris Barnes doesn't show up in the 5th and 6th frame, but that is just dead flush. In fact, all 4 shots just pack.
Chris Barnes, the only of our 6 bowlers to begin this Roll to Riches who made a show on this oil pattern. 9-pin for Wiseman.
I move.
That's pattern E. Happened in El Paso, Texas, where he finished 3rd.
See, and here's the difference with the 2 ball rolls. Chris Barnes end over end. Danny Wiseman's got more side rotation. The cheetah pattern has dry boards to the outside. And Danny Wiseman's ball sees that dry, it comes off of it way too hard. When Chris Barnes's ball sees that dry board, it rolls off of it nice and smooth.
Parker Bowman, the 3rd one in El Paso to become exempt for next season. Wiseman was exempt early in our year, and for multiple years after winning the High Life Masters presented by the ABC in Milwaukee. What an event that was. 5,000 people on hand at Miller Park, home of the Brewers. A big-time splash to begin our season. Now we finished the year in Fort Worth, making another big splash, as in big bucks, record-setting amount. Oh, they're all down.
Thank you.
A little late, though, for Danny Wiseman.
Yeah, and I think Danny knows. I think Danny knows that his choice as far as balls and how he was going to attack the lane condition wasn't the right one. Whoa!
That was way high and almost resulted in the big 4, just the 7-pin standing. At this point, it's okay for Barnes.
Boy, that's huge. If he gets 6 here, Danny Wiseman still would have had a pop, but trips everything out, only leaving the 7-pin. Chris Barnes, a spare here. He's going to advance and bowl for $200,000.
To the championship round. He just needs 3 pins here. That should be easy. A 44-pin lead heading into the 6th and final frame for the official number to wrap it up. And remember, the next round is a race to 6 strikes. The first to get there takes home a PBA event record $200,000. His twins, 2.5 years old. Well, as Chris said, Linda and Chris will apply the $200,000 to the boys' college education. At this rate, Harvard and Cornell, all the Ivy Leagues are going to cost that for a single year. When those kids are ready for college, they're going to need a saving.
Right now, Chris Barnes kind of testing the water, so to speak, on that left lane. He's got basically free shots, so he can afford to move around, try a different ball, try a different angle, and get locked in.
Special thanks to Eric Studer, the Motel 6 Senior Vice President for Marketing. He and his great staff putting together a tremendous event. Along with the PBA here for us in Fort Worth, Texas. Our title sponsor, special thanks to all those folks at Motel 6. Wiseman in the groove, but it'll be a little too late for him.
That was terrible. Babies need new shoes.
They're going to get a lot of shoes, Chris, if you win the $200,000.
They can buy the shoe store.
You buy a shoe company. With his mom, Dorothy Potter, stepdad, Jerry Potter in the stands. Their biggest fans, Danny Wiseman. A very fine season wrapped up. He won his 11th career title. Saw Dorothy there. Stepdad Jerry just to her left. Oh, the old trick hook shot there from Danny Wiseman in his final TV appearance of this season. We look forward to seeing Danny again next year. Chris Barnes has a lot more bowling to do. $200,000 coming up. That's what he'll bowl for. He's in the final. But the other semifinals still to come from Fort Worth. Tommy Jones, who won 4 times on the tour this year. Head-to-head with fellow right-hander Steve Jarris. Exciting action to follow. We are ready for another exciting semifinal at the PBA Motel 6 Roll the Riches presented by Geico. Chris Barnes is through, so he is in the race to 6 strikes final competition. Jarris or Jones will be his opponent. They're both joined now by Randy Peterson.
Steve Jarris, the hottest player on the PBA Tour coming into this event. Steve, how do you stay hot for 2 more matches?
Well, you know, underneath these lights, the easiest thing to do is to stay hot. The harder thing is going to be to try to figure out how to win 2 matches. Basically, if I stay focused like I had the last few weeks, make the same shots that I did to get to this point, hopefully things will work out. Tommy's on a great streak as well, so it should be a good match.
Thanks, Steve. Good luck. Tommy Jones, young man, undefeated on television this season. How do you keep that streak intact?
Well, I mean, you know, you never know when that streak's going to end, but it's not going to end these next 2 games, so we're going to keep it going and, you know, just make good shots and hopefully things work out.
Thanks, Tommy. Good luck. Dave?
Tommy Jones, Randy, certainly ready to go. They've never matched up head-to-head on TV. That changes here today in Fort Worth. The second semifinal, Chris Barnes will take on the winner, but remember, that's a different format. That is race to 6 strikes. First to 6 strikes wins a PBA event record $200,000. Here it is a 6-frame match, max 180. Different strategy, of course. Have to have a good start. 4-7 for Jarris.
All right. Stevie playing inside and looks a little bit softer with his ball speed. That ball bites real quick. And better to do this early than late.
Takes care of the 4-7 spare.
Saw that coming.
But spares, Randy, with just 6 frames, are not good. From Mullen, South Carolina, Greenville, Spartanburg area, he and his wife Kristen building a new house. Not far from completion, we're told. Very close to the Clemson campus. Tommy Jones, great athlete. Was an outstanding baseball player in high school for 4 years. Pitcher to shortstop. So he knows how to throw it.
Wow.
10-pin.
Man, that ball hit the pin so hard, it's amazing anything stood up. Watch how hard the ball hits these pins right here. I mean, they went off the deck real fast.
Takes care of his mark. Leading us to this second semifinal matchup.
Yeah, big difference here in average strike percentage in Tommy Jones's favor. The other thing in Tommy Jones's favor, 4 titles to 1 of Jarris. But Jarris hot of late in the season. Let's see what Tommy Jones did this season versus his previous 4.
First win came at the Japan Cup. That was his first career win, but as he reminded us yesterday, 10-pin for him there. That Japan Cup victory did not provide automatic exemption. Counts as a career title, but did not make him exempt for next year, so there was still work to be done, and did he ever complete that work this season?
He sure did, and right now, Tommy Jones is going with a lot of speed and a lot of angle, and that is why early on he's leaving the corner pins.
Takes care of the 10-pin. 4-time winner on the tour this year. First time since Parker Bone III won 4. And anyone won that many tour titles in one season. Parker was the player of the year, 01-02, with 4 championships. This guy, Steve Jarris, won 3 last year, and incredibly enough, came very close to not being exempt this year. What a late season rally. Nice spinner ball for him there. As he and Randy talked about moments ago in the interview.
Saw Tommy Jones leaving ringing 10s. If Steve Jarris can carry the weak 10, his ball entering the pocket much softer and not quite as sharp an angle as Tommy Jones. Steve Jarris can get the weak 10 out when he hits the pocket. He's going to give Tommy Jones all he wants.
Only one of our 6 bowlers to begin this competition in the challenge round without a 300 game all season long.
Turn.
So I guess we didn't expect huge stats for Jarris coming in.
Come on.
What a finish for Steve Jarris. He told us in our interviews yesterday and throughout the season, he knew there was time late in the year when things started turning around, but not much time. And had he not won the Dexter Tournament Champions, he had barely, I mean barely, by 1 spot become exempt for next year. Right now, Jarris has a 1-pin lead on Tommy Jones, who won 4 times this year and is a viable Player of the Year candidate along with Patrick Allen. Who wins this match to face Barnes in the final? We'll find out. Steve Jarris has won in Dallas the 2004 PBA Days Inn Open. Also, his first career major came this season. Career season as well for Tommy Jones, the subject of today's Dexter approach. Randy generates incredible ball speed with that motion, doesn't he?
He sure does, and it's all about early timing. Tommy Jones, modern-day power player, but he gets the ball into the swing early, which gets his feet going. Check out the high backswing. He walks by it, and it takes a lot of discipline to wait for the ball at the bottom of the swing so he can apply all that power.
Tremendous pace on the ball for Tommy Jones. It is something to watch him warm up lane side and see him just throw it with incredible speed. His third of 6 frames. 6-frame match. Trails Jarris by a pin. Perfectly judged by Tommy Jones.
Now remember, he was leaving ring and tens to start, so what Tommy Jones did was he made this ball roll sooner. Watch when it gets down to the break point at about 40 feet. He makes that ball come off of the spot much harder, therefore carrying the ring and 10.
Tommy does not want that win streak to end. 8 straight TV wins this year. That's not a record. Well, Randy knows about hot streaks on TV. 86, 87, you went 11-1 yourself. You get in that zone.
Here's something, I don't know what it is, but something.
And when you have that kind of focus, there's no question it's difficult to be beaten. The numbers for TJ this year, a former PBA Rookie of the Year, second in earnings. He is without question a solid number 2 to Patrick Allen for Player of the Year honors. And he told us yesterday, I'm voting for Patrick Allen with his PBA membership vote. We'll find out during the summer who wins Player of the Year. We find out today who wins this event. 60 feet to success for Tommy Jones.
Again, he gets the ball to read the spot sooner, so it'll come off of it and get more flush into the 1-3 pocket. Look at that. That ball finished in the 8-pin spot.
Along with Norm Duke, Tommy, a Fans' Choice All-Star. Only big stars on tour can put the ball in the pocket the way he does. A little more of a hook than we're used to seeing from Steve Jarris, who loves to play right at the 1-3 pocket. But sometimes these lane conditions will require that. We'll see if he stays right. Oh, that came in way high. Look out. 3, 4, 6, 7.
That flat 10 is what made Steve Jarris do that. He tried to get this ball to come around the corner a little bit harder, and boy does it. Right through the schnoz. 3, 4, 6, 7. Tommy Jones, driver's seat.
Near impossible split. Yeah, only chop
That almost got to the pocket.
the 3-pin. Jones has himself a huge lead in a 6-frame match for the PBA Tour. Now it's off-season. PBA.com is your best source for all the latest PBA news. Event details about PBA Tour trials, which take place May 31st through June 5th in Maryville, Indiana, are online now, as well as info about the repackaged PBA Miller High Life Skills Challenge telecast on ESPN May 7th and 8th. Randy and I will host those for you. All that and more. PBA.com. Log on today and bookmark it on your high speed as well. TJ stays hot and is close to wrapping this one up.
Give me a number. Give me a number.
Shreds the rack with this shot there, Dave. Right now, Tommy Jones needs 6 to shut out Steve Jarris. Right down the middle of this fair ball.
He'll take all 10 down and take care of Steve Jarris.
Great season. Great.
Finish it off, man.
Now's where Tommy Jones has 2 shots. He can basically
figure it up in 5 frames.
2 shots he can really get locked in, just like Chris Barnes did in the previous match.
These are 6-frame matches. That's what Tommy was referring to.
Oh!
A 7-10 up, but that, of course, well after he had wrapped up the match.
Well, you don't want to see that, getting ready to bowl for $200,000 against Chris Barnes. That's the last thing we want to see.
Let me use 2 balls.
These are on standard PBA Tour telecast,
Afraid
folks.
I might kill myself.
It's been a long time. He's going to really let it go. Spare ball. Oh! Did that 10-pin to kick off the back of the deck into the 7th.
Hi, guys. See you soon.
Word back home to his wife, Kristen. Good friends, James and Andrea, was watching from South Carolina.
Okay, I thought you did that.
I will never give you that because I don't want to ever give you a wrong number, so you got to figure it out yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm just not used to figuring it up in 5 frames. You know?
Always nice to be able to wrap it up early as he talks with our tournament director, Kirk Von Kruber.
I still got the lowest game on TV. I couldn't even beat that.
Well, Steve does have one of our 300 games, but he also had a 129 Lake Zurich, Illinois, the all-time lowest TV score in PBA history. His 300 came in 99,
Thanks, guys.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. At that point, he was a 13th player to roll 300. There are 16 now. Unfortunately for Steve Jarris from Yorkville, Illinois, his day is over. Tommy Jones advances.
Playing 16 old or no?
TJ will take on Chris Barnes in the final. It's a race to 6 strikes. Buckle up, everyone, and put down that remote control because this is going to be exciting. $200,000 to the winner.
Barnes don't think it can only hurt the team. And Tommy Jones, simple. Just grip it and rip it. Chris Barnes, the higher seed, deciding to let Tommy Jones go first. And I think it's because Chris Barnes, after winning the U.S. Open, knows that he can finally pry it off when he needs to.
Race to 6 strikes. Starts right now.
Oh, my.
Or not.
See that? You see
Right
the
now.
Cheetah thing takes lights?
The Cheetah logo. It's the down lane logo there you saw for our pattern E.
It's a bonus strike for acrobatics.
And Tommy nearly sent himself down lane there.
I can't make that one up that late.
You
I
play that?
promise you. Wow.
Boy, don't try this at home. This would have ripped my arm right out of the socket. Look at that.
Wow. He saw it flashing, and good for Tommy. Stopped himself.
It's pretty good. Yeah, and bowlers aren't athletes. Sure they're not.
Tommy's a good one. Chris Barnes, good basketball player, too. In his day in Topeka, Kansas.
Oh.
Spinning Messenger nearly took out the 4, but Tommy looks a bit uncomfortable there with his fingers. That could be trouble. Strange start to the match for Tommy. And Chris Barnes, with his wife Linda watching closely. Take advantage, yes. Late trip on the 7. And a picture of the twins, Ryan and Troy, who are watching back home.
Chris Barnes, high rev guy, heavy roll, loves this reaction, and so does his wife Linda.
Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Northwestern. You get a lot of money for those twins' education down the road, especially in about 15 years when they're ready for school. That's high for Jones. Big trouble now. Remember, this is a race to 6 strikes. First one there gets the $200,000. Winner take all.
This ball never got far enough to the right. Tell you what, Tommy Jones's hand may be a little swollen from that shot where he had to pull up and grab onto it. Chris Barnes looking to take an early 2-0 lead. Remember, no spares, only strikes.
He was red hot in the first semifinal. Those were 6 frame matches with a max score of 180. He's got 2. He needs 6 to win $200,000.
This is really high flush, but you see the ball actually kind of rolls out. When it rolls out like that, it's going to deflect a little bit more than, say, a Tommy Jones shot that's actually cutting through and going past the 8-pin.
Race to 6. Barnes a third of the way there. Jones needs one badly here. He's down 0-2. There's the first strike for Tommy Jones from near Greenville, South Carolina. Barnes born in Topeka, Kansas. As we talked about, great athlete, basketball player growing up. And of course, a bowler, Wichita State star. Now lives in the Dallas Metroplex area. Wife Linda and the twins. Another for Chris Barnes, who started off red hot. He's got 3. He is halfway there. The first bowler to reach 6 strikes takes home the money. A lot of zeros, Chris Barnes, no doubt about it. As he mentioned in the interview, he wants to keep the money in the Lone Star State of Texas. He's halfway there with a tremendous start. 3 for his first 3 with his wife watching closely. Jones in some trouble now. If you're Chris Barnes, you take the 820 loop from here in Fort Worth up to 35W North. Near Grapevine Lake here at Flower Mound. About half an hour, that's as far as Chris is from his hometown. U.S. troops stationed in Afghanistan and Iraq will soon be bowling thanks to the Bowlers to Veterans Link, or BBL. BBL is sending 200 carpet bowling lanes with pins and balls to 40 different U.S. camps. Once received, the troops will be able to roll a few games courtesy of BBL, which has supported our servicemen and women with recreational programs since 1942.
And during the break, here's Tommy Jones trying to dry out his hand that looks more like a paw. Contemplating his next move. Here's Chris Barnes. Looks like an expected father. He can't even sit down. That's $200,000 worth of pressure.
I think he was pacing around like that when Linda was getting ready to deliver the twins, Ryan and Troy.
I guarantee you he wasn't as nervous as he is now.
Richest ever grand prize PBA event history unfolds here today in Fort Worth. Jones down 3-1. There's number 2. The first to 6 wins all the money, winner take all.
See, this one has much better projection to it. It actually gets far enough right to where you can get to the 1-3. And Tommy Jones doing exactly what he needs to do. Keep the pressure, or apply a little pressure to Chris Barnes.
Barnes was first, as he mentioned in the interview, strike percentage, 66.28 regular season. Can he keep it going? Oh, yeah! High flush.
Chris Barnes 2 strikes away from $200,000 no matter what
That is nice.
Tommy Jones does.
He is locked in, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah!
Notice how the eyes get bigger as the ball gets closer to the spot the players want the ball to go to. And that's right in the center of the head pin and the 3-pin.
Draw within 1. He's down 4-2. First to 6. Wins the money. His third strike. Chris Barnes has to miss, or Tommy Jones will not be a winner here today. Jones, by the way, 24th during the regular season. Strike percentage 61.45. Barnes scorching hot.
Chris Barnes loves this pattern. He used to attack it from way inside like Tommy Jones. Now going much straighter.
It's for number 5.
Got it!
He is one strike away from $200,000. 5 strikes for Barnes.
See that end-over-end roll, control the change of direction down the lane. He knows that if it gets close, that 16-pound ball is going to make serious trouble for those 10 pins. Tommy Jones has to strike.
He's down to 1 shot. He told us he could convert with the pressure on. Jones tries to answer. Has another. But now, folks, it's all up to Chris Barnes. 1 strike, and he takes home the richest purse in PBA event history. $200,000. Strike for Chris Barnes. The big money staying here in Texas thanks to Barnes.
Great shot, man. Great shot, man. $200,000 is a lot of zeros.
That it is, Chris. And he deserved it, stepping up in pressure situation after pressure situation, Randy.
Chris Barnes relied on his talent and didn't get in the way mentally, and that's why he did what he did right there. As you can see, Linda going crazy, $200,000 richer.
Fives all around for good reason. What a way to finish the year for Chris Barnes. His first ever major, the PBA Miller High Life Skills Challenge Championship, and now Motel 6 Roll to Riches.
That's a real good number.
Presented by Geico. That's a big number, Chris, no question.
Just in time for taxes, I guess.
By 1 day, yeah. Won't have to worry about that for a while, though. Or college education for the Twins. Apparently, that's where the big bucks are going. Ryan and Troy.
Thanks, Motel
Ivy League,
6.
boys.
We all owe you one.
What a day for Chris Barnes. The PBA Motel 6 Roll to Riches presented by Geico Championship round goes to him. From here in Fort Worth, he's $200,000 richer. Randy, let's look at our championship round recap.
Okay, Dave. Semifinal number 1, Chris Barnes destroys Danny Wiseman, throwing a lot of shots like that. And in our second semifinal, Tommy Jones throwing the big hook, takes care of Steve Jarris.
Finish it off.
And then in the championship match, Chris Barnes just makes magnificent shots, 6 in a row for $200,000.
The Happy Barnes are here, Linda and Chris, of course, and Tommy Jones. Tommy, we'll start with you. What did you learn about yourself in this competition? It was so heated and so much pressure on you.
Well, I didn't make very good shots those first 2 shots, and then, Chris got on to me, and when he gets on to you, he's hard to get off, and he bowled unbelievable all this whole tournament here, and we had a blast, and thank the fans here at Fort Worth for coming out and supporting us, and we had a blast. Thanks Motel 6 for sponsoring this event, and look forward to being back next year.
It was the last event of your season still, Tommy. You have a great chance for Player of the Year, 4 titles, your first 4 ever. How would you recap this year?
Well, this year's been a dream come true. I got the monkey off my back to win my first title, you know, and then to win 4 times, I couldn't imagine that. If you told me it was going to end this way, you know, so be it. You know, I had a great season and can't wait to get back out there next year.
Congratulations. Great
Thanks,
run.
Dave.
Tommy Jones. $200,000, Chris Barnes, your wife, Linda. How does it feel? That much money in your pocket?
Well, that is a Texas-sized check right there. I got to thank Motel 6. It's a tremendous opportunity for all of us, and it's something nobody expected at the beginning of the year, and God, I couldn't be happier with the way it turned out. Obviously, I'm looking forward to having a chance to come back next year.
A few minutes ago, Chris, you were talking about your round of 8 match world championship with Brian Voss. You had a chance. In a big strike, you couldn't do it, but here you could. How'd you overcome that pressure?
You know, it's the same thing. For a long time, I wanted to control a lot of things out here, and sometimes you just have to let it go and rely on your talent to carry you through. And you know, one more time, I had to make a mistake to, and maybe that's the reason that one happened, so today could happen.
All right. Linda, you're a big bowler yourself, so you know about pressure. What's it like watching your husband try to go for the big money here?
I have a lot of faith in his talent, but that's about as nervous as I've ever been in my life. I'm thrilled for him, and he came through when he needed to, so I'm just proud of him. It was fun to watch, and I'd much rather throw the shot myself, but I have faith in him.
Will the money, in fact, go to the college education for your boys?
It's in the bank already. It's put away.
Chris, the format is something totally different, something brand new, put together by the PBA and ESPN this year. It turned out well for you. What was it like to compete in that?
Yeah, you know, it reminded me a lot of my amateur days at one time. A lot of real short sprint formats, best ball type things, skins games. And over the years, I've had some success in those formats for reasons I don't necessarily know or can explain. But it was sure a lot. It's sure a lot of fun when they turn out like this.
You're really in a zone, Chris, with 6 in a row. Your ball reaction was perfect. How'd you get it to that point?
Well, we kept back and forth. I used a new ball at professional in the right lane, and I used a big ball in the left lane, and that seemed to be key for me. I don't think anybody else used 2 balls, and I never did really have any trouble. You know, it all keyed, really, at the beginning, though, with a huge break. I was out the first frame, and Jarls throws a good shot, and he's 7-9s, and all of a sudden I go from out to being back in, and it turned into a bye in the first round, and it kind of all snowballed. It's been a wild ride.
Could you have thought of a better way to finish up your year?
Is there any better way than to come up with the biggest check ever? It's good by me.
Congratulations, Chris Barnes and Linda. Everyone very happy here, of course, and the Barnes family. And Flower Mound, Texas just got $200,000 richer, Randy.
Lots and lots of cash for the Barnes family. You know, the biggest thing I think that could have happened, and the best thing that could have happened to Chris Barnes, was back in the World Championships. You heard him say it. He needed a hit in the round of 8 to beat Brian Voss in advance, and he just didn't throw it well. He said to me that mentally he just kept getting in his own way.
Thanks, Columbia.
And once he got over the hurdle of relying on his talent, well, that's when he really turned the corner, and that's exactly what happened today. Chris Barnes relied on his talent and mentally overcame and exercised the demons.
Chris Barnes won his first ever major at the 62nd U.S. Open in New Jersey. He finishes out the year in incredible fashion by winning the PBA Motel 6 Roll to Riches presented by Geico. $200,000 go to Chris Barnes from Flower Mound, Texas, just outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area. For the entire crew, my partner Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. What a moment for the Barnes family and for the PBA, wrapping up a tremendous season. It started with the Miller High Life Masters presented by the ABC at Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, before 5,000 fans. Finishes up with this unbelievable event here in Fort Worth, Texas. It's been a great ride watching great bowlers like Chris Barnes come all the way through to win a PBA event record $200,000. Congratulations to Chris Barnes. We'll see you next year.